Good evening everybody, Calm Biker here. Just taking an evening ride after work. This is my second video that I've recorded. I don't know whether this one will become a video or not, but I just thought I'd bring you along for the ride. I haven't got a topic, I'm just going exploring really. It's such a lovely evening. It's chilly, but I've got my little heater on medium today, so it tells you it's not that chilly. Normally I have it on full. I thought I'd bring you along for the ride, show you my exploring. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know if I'll find mud like the last time I went exploring, or if I'll stick to the roads. Stick to the roads, beware the moons. It won't be a vlog of entirely film quotes, I think. It's always a possibility. I'll bring you along for the ride, let you enjoy the scenery on one of the last few days of winter this year. Go and see what I can find. You may notice I've changed my camera angle again. As I mentioned in the video where I was trying out the upside down camera, which I tried to show in the mirror and failed dismally, I think. I forgot how low the camera was. I actually liked the pictures that came out of it, but there were two very big problems with it. One was that it restricted my movement. It didn't restrict it side to side. Oh, I thought he was going to pull in and let me go there. Where do you go? Let's turn right then, see what's down here. Yeah, it didn't restrict me left to right movement. I might have just been going around a little village or something here. But it did restrict me looking down. Now, you don't need to look down very often on a bike. But I did find that when I accidentally unplugged my heated vest and wanted to plug it back in, I couldn't actually look down to see where the wire was, so that was no good. So that was one of the reasons. The other reason was I didn't realise how much of a view through the windscreen it'd be. Kind of down here, looking through the windscreen. I liked how much of the bike you could see, and I hope you can see a bit of the bike now, but I suspect there won't be a huge amount to look at. But looking through the windscreen, well, it opened up a problem really. I'm not a washer of bikes. I like riding them, I much less like washing them, as I've mentioned before. If it's a dry and fine enough day to be washing, it's a riding day. So I tend to wash them when the salt's on the road and then put them away. So it gets a wash every year, whether it needs it or not. That's what the Z1000 gets. That'll be what this one gets as well. And it really needs it because it's absolutely clarted up with mud at the minute. But that does mean that I'm not going to be cleaning this screen every time I go for a ride. So already it's got a little bit of dirt on it that you'd have to look through on all my videos. And when we get to summer and it's Fliesville, well, it'll just be videos of flies. It'll be like a morgue, a fly morgue, splattered all over the front of the bike, which is not really appealing, is it? I'm trying to think of a quote from The Fly now. Be afraid, be very afraid. There's flies on the screen. So I'm trying it a little bit higher up. I've moved it away from my face a bit because this helmet, as I mentioned, I wouldn't be able to open up the visor if I just put it where I used to put it. So it's on a slightly longer thing now. And I've offset it to one side, which means the camera's off to one side, which is a bit odd, but it means it's really easy access from my visor. But actually, the lens is pretty much slap bang in the middle. There you go, look. Oh yeah, sit there. So, actually, it's probably a better kind of rider's eye view than the other one was, or the other angle. Let me know what you think in them there comments. It's a big thing. That might be one of them that unfolds and does big wide strips of field planting or fertilising or something. Since I came off the road, the main road, and onto these little things, this is, I suppose, technically a lane. It's not got a central line, and it's not wide enough for, well, not wide enough for two of them tractory type things for sure. And I was going to say, since I got onto these, that was the first vehicle I've actually seen, was that bit of farm machinery. The van's now the second. Been riding for quite a while, a good 10 minutes without seeing another soul. This could be a good type of riding to do. If you like to be like a bit quiet. What's down this one? Oh, that one. I'm going to try this one. There is another car though. It's very busy around here. Lanes riding was never really my thing. When we did the infamously calm rides many moons ago, and did the infamously Welsh ride that Kev, the infamous biker, sadly no longer making videos, when he organised that one, we always used to put in a bit of lanes riding, and I have to say it was the bit I liked the least, because I always had a bike that was very firm suspension, and these roads, you know, they're never smooth, are they? I much prefer to be on the A roads, but on this bike, these roads are just fantastic. It's got the very slightly off-roady tyres. I think they call them 80/20s. And whereas the Z1000, if you went over a bumpy road with gravel on, you'd be slipping sideways. Especially when I first had it, the suspension was, as the guy that set it up for me said, set up for a sumo wrestler. It would skip around all over the place, and it just destroyed your confidence that it was going to stick. Whereas this one, you go through a bit of gravel or a bit of mud, and it just takes in its stride. It's yeah, it's changing the way I think about these type of roads. I think the Kawasaki will still be the A road kind of blast machine, but these little back roads on this bike, because it's so comfortable, just superb. If I want to do a 300-mile day on the Kawasaki, it would have to be A roads. I could do the same places on this bike and take the back roads and probably end up doing 400 miles, and I suspect I'd be absolutely fine. It's at least as comfortable as the first CB500X I had was, and I did 900 and some miles on that in a day without really any trouble at all. The only trouble was all of the roadworks, being turned round a couple of times, getting absolutely drenched, and not collecting receipts on my way back after losing Tosh. Because if I had collected those receipts, I'd have actually just probably, when I got home with 900 and some miles on, I'd have just probably ridden across the country and back or something, gone to Manchester and back and finished off the Iron Butt. But obviously if you've been following my videos for a while, you'll know that didn't happen. If you haven't been following my videos for a while, and you go back and watch that series of videos about the Iron Butt, then please forget what I just said, because it'll spoil the ending. The roads are getting narrower and more farmy. Tractors are out. It's good to see. I think is he ploughing? I think looks like it. The amount of rain we've had recently, the amount of flooding, there are still quite a lot of fields that are just underwater, sometimes 18 inches underwater. So it's good to see that there are now some farming activities happening. A lot of people thinking that we might not be getting many crops this year. We're seeing less pheasants recently and more ducks. Looks like I'm coming up to some kind of urban conurbation. Graham would be watching this and going, I know exactly where he is. Whereas I'm thinking, not a clue. Could be Wet Wang. Maybe Wet Wang. Looking at the house at the end. One of those hilariously named places. Turn right and find out. Ah, I was right. It's Wet Wang. I found myself seeing side roads and thinking, I've not been down that one. Maybe I need to get a local map of the area and tick off all of these roads, learn the whole area rather than just the A roads and some B roads. Some of the B roads are fantastic around here. I don't know whether this would count as a B road or not. This one was more of an error. I think I'm basically going down towards somebody's house. So as explores go, it's the type that gets you shot. Although I'll give that one a skip. I shall check it on the map when I get home and see, and if it is a proper road, then I'll try it another day. But I have lots of places still to explore today that are definitely places I'm allowed to go. Definitely places where I'm not trespassing. Starting to get a few rolling hills to look at. Quite pretty around here. Let's see if the sign gives me a clue. Ah, okay. This is the road to Fimber and Fridaythorpe. Fridaythorpe, people in the local area will know, is the place where Seaways Cafe is, well-known biker cafe. And Fimber is the place where Cafe in the Woods are, or is, which is another nice cafe around here. It's slightly less biker focused, but in summer there will be more bikes than cars there. It's also used by walkers. It's a nice little cafe that I take Mrs. C to occasionally and grab a brew and look at the birds, because the Cafe in the Woods is in the woods. It's quite nice to go and have a look at. I suspect both cafes will be closed, so I can go to them, but I think I'll be out of luck for actually getting a drink. But I think I've probably waffled on long enough now. So normally the type of video I do where I just ride around looking at the scenery and waffling about nothing. I mean, the waffling about nothing is very common. I've been watching quite a few videos that are like that recently, so whether it's the way I will go or not, I don't know. It's nice to see the area, I think. It's nice to see other people's areas. See people doing these type of videos, so hopefully you've enjoyed seeing a little bit of the area I live, even though I couldn't tell you most of the time where I was. Because my version of exploring is literally turn down a road you've not been down before and keep repeating until you're thoroughly lost, or you come out somewhere that you do know, which is what's happened here. So I'm going to wrap this one up. So thank you for watching, everyone. Ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon. There's the cafe in the woods.